Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn love reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. All right, so we have our romance angel cards, and we're going to look at what you may possibly be struggling with, what you may need to look at, and possible future energies. All right, what is Capricorn possibly struggling with relationships? Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So struggling with that. What does Capricorn need to look at? Chemistry. Possible future. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. So I kind of feel like not pushing anything, not... you know, sometimes if we're single, we're trying to, it's like we're getting frustrated with things not happening, or, you know, going on those dates where it's just not working out, or those relationships where things weren't working out. And there's, you know, there's a lot of frustration with that. There's a lot of, and then as soon as you're done, you know, like you're like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. And then you go back into it. You go back on the dating sites, or you have a relationship with one person, and then you're automatically in, you know, you want to get into the next relationship, and that you keep doing this process without kind of taking that time to yourself to work on things, to work on yourself. And it's like we keep repeating those patterns, and you can't really move away from it because you've never given yourself a chance to back away and just work on you, which I know it's never fun hearing that, because, you know, we feel like, oh, I'm ready for a relationship. I can do it. I want that person to come in, and, you know, and then it's like we get into the relationship, and then it's the same relationship patterns that we had before, and you end up in the same place, or, you know, it's just that. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. I mean, I've been through that for years, and it was this cycle and this repeating it until I had finally given up, and I had just spent time working on myself and getting comfortable with being by myself, and working on what makes me happy, and having my schedule, and having my things that make me happy and fill up my day, right, between work or the barn or friends and family, and finding those things that fill up my day, that make me feel good, that make me feel like I'm in a good place. And then when I did that, and then I went out there, then I was able to find someone, which happened right away. But I feel like I just let that happen, right? I let go of trying to constantly be on the dating sites, or constantly trying to make something work that I knew wasn't working, and trying to ignore the red flags and all of those things. And it was just like, you know what? I have my life. I have my setting. I know what I want. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But that I'm still happy with me. Struggling with attraction, because if you're not happy with you, and you're not happy where you are, then you're not going to be attracting the right type of person. What type of person are you attracting? Right? I feel like the people that we have around us is a reflection of where we are. I feel that is of where we are and how we're feeling, and what type of people are we surrounding ourselves with? What type of people are we attracting? And how does that reflect on us? Do we keep also those relationship patterns of constantly attracting the same type of person and having those same issues or problems in those relationships? All right. Having that trouble with that Nine of Cups, right? Wishes and dreams come true. Where is my partner? Having trouble attracting that Nine of Cups person, that, you know, is what we've been thinking about and dreaming about. We have King of Pentacles. Could be somebody... King of Pentacles, I feel like struggling with having patience, because King of Pentacles is somebody who's very patient. And He doesn't give up, but he also, I feel like he analyzes things as what I was saying before in those relationship patterns, you know, looking at, okay, because he's very good in business. So if you're good in business, that you have to analyze a lot of data, you have to analyze a lot of different things to see what's going on. So if your business is struggling or you want to grow your business, you know, what's the most popular product, or, you know, what are people interested in? So I feel like with King of Pentacles, it's struggling with looking at, okay, what's really going on here? What's the core of the problem, right? Struggling with yourself. I also feel like you're struggling with yourself because Four of Pentacles is keeping to yourself, you know, holding on to things, you're blocking positive energy. And do you feel that when you get into a relationship that all of a sudden, like, you feel very guarded, right? That you're not really fully able to open up in a relationship, that you always keep your guard up? And is that why things keep happening the same way? Is because you're like, nope, I'm not going to let you in because I've had so many other relationships and those have never worked out. I already know this isn't going to work out, so I'm not going to open up those doors because I don't want to get hurt again. I just feel like it's looking at this energy here, right? Looking, what is that energy that you're putting out there? And what are those things that you can change? What you need to look at as a star, it also could be Aquarius. It's that chemistry. It's that strong attraction. It's that direction. It's that guidance. It's being hopeful. And I just feel like when it's right, you just kind of naturally have those feelings and you just know that it's right and you just let it go, that you're not trying to push anything. You're not trying to make something work because you're running out of time or you're tired of dating, like looking at those reasons why, that it's just that chemistry that you have between you and that person. We have the Hermit, which is Virgo, so it's like looking within, right? To looking within is what type of person are you attracted to? What attracts, you know, what type of person what kind of partner do you think that you need in order for you to let those walls down? Like, what do you think that you need in a relationship? And looking for those qualities in that person that you feel that you can trust that person to have that comfort in a relationship and be able to let those walls down and have a deeper relationship. High Priestess, that feeling inside. What do you feel inside? That chemistry. Definitely chemistry and the High Priestess, I feel, go together, is because it's just that feeling that you have inside that something feels right or something feels wrong, or that you have to work on something, or, you know, what are those feelings that you have inside? I feel like with those other relationships that may have failed, that you kind of knew that there were red flags, you saw that there were red flags, and you ignored those. And sometimes we ignore those because we're like, oh, I don't want to start all over. I don't want to go back on the dating sites. I'm just going to try and make this relationship work, or I keep ending up in the same way, so I'm just going to deal with that. But I feel like you kind of knew from the beginning that something didn't feel right, that something felt off, and you ignored that. And so I feel like it's being more in tune to what that inner voice is telling you. Hang in there. Future energies, just hang in there. When the time is right, I just feel that things will fall into place. And I know that's so frustrating when you're waiting for that person to come in. I know that. I've been there for many years. And it's very frustrating. And it's just, for me personally, I didn't want to keep going through those same relationship patterns that I had done before, that was starting to create more damage for myself, because it just wasn't working out, because I truly wasn't ready, even though I thought I was ready. And for me, I feel that it was better to be able to take a break and then just kind of experiment a little bit and maybe just have conversations with someone. But if you're not feeling that it's right, that it's okay, and then back away and take some time to yourself until you really feel stronger, so that there's bigger periods in between the relationships, so that you can grow, so that you can learn from yourself, and so that you can listen to your inner voice, right? And I just feel like when the right person comes in, then it's definitely worth the wait, right? With the signs and the because it has allowed the situation to unfold naturally, and it's just waiting for that to happen. And then we have the two, I feel like that's just being patient, Two of Pentacles. And then we have the Sun card. I love it. Look at that. We have the Sun card that came out. So it's like that happiness. But it's while you're waiting, focus on you. What makes you happy? What makes you tick? What gets you motivated? And sometimes, you know, that when we least expected, we meet that person, right? We have the, look at that, Ace of Cups. When you least expect it. And what card was at the bottom of the deck here is we have that Ace of Cups. But I also feel like when you meet that person, your cup is emotionally, like, that's overflowing, that you're feeling happy about yourself, that you're feeling happy about your life, that you're feeling like you're on track, that you've let go of those things that you were, you know, holding on to maybe from past relationships, and that you are feeling like you're really in a good place. And then you see someone else who is like that, and you're like, yeah, I want to be with that person. I want to be with that person who's worked on their baggage and, you know, has their life together, and they've, you know, they feel like they're happy with their life, and they're working, you know, they're working on themselves and doing their own thing, and you're doing your own thing, so that you're both coming together at a healthy point. And I feel like that's what really makes a relationship good, is because you're both coming together at a healthy point in your life, and you realize, hey, relationships are hard, relationships are not easy, that we're going to have to work on this, we're going to have to communicate, that we're going to have to, you know, take those walls down, we're going to have to work on those walls, even though we may have trust issues within ourselves, but that we know that we need to work on that. And then we both understand each other, because we're both coming from that same place. So I feel like that's what's really rewarding, is that, you know, when you take that time to work on yourself, have your cup overflowing, you feel like you're in a good place, you're feeling positive, and you attract that like person, that really gives the relationship a heads up. And sometimes it's hard to understand that while you're waiting. But then sometimes, like I said before, I thought I was ready, but I really wasn't ready, and I still had more things to work on. And I realized that, and being open to the fact that, yeah, I got to do some work on myself, right? I mean, for me personally, I just didn't want to keep having the same type of relationship and having it ended up the same way, and that frustration, and I was really only damaging myself, and it really wasn't turning out to be very positive for me. All right, so let's close out with a Whispers of Healing. And we have physical touch, and then we have these two people together, and it says a tender touch can mean so much. And I feel like that also goes with chemistry and attraction, and it's also about kind of letting those walls down and just having that connection with that person, and making sure that, you know, you communicate as to what each person needs. Like I've said before with the 5 love languages, which is at the top for you. You know, what is your order with the 5 love languages, and what is that person's order, and what do they need, and making sure that you're both able to work on those things, so that you both can feel secure within the relationship, and leaving those lines of communication open. I just definitely feel that it's worth the wait. And even if you take it slower and it doesn't work out, but I feel like using it as a learning experience, as what can I learn from this? You know, if it didn't work out, okay, why didn't it work out? Well, how was I feeling? Was I listening to my inner voice? You know, did I really choose the person that I felt was best for me? Was I ignoring red flags? Was there that balance between me and that other person? Did we feel balanced? Did we feel like we were both really ready for relationships? Or, you know, how was that? Did I let my walls down? You know, did I put too high of expectations on having a relationship? You know, sometimes we like to romanticize about it, and then the reality of it is that relationships are very hard. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's disappointments. There's frustrations. There's good times. There's bad times, you know. And it's that willingness to hang in there through those tough times. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.